In World War II, the deadliest adversary wasn't always the enemy, it was the cold. The cold was a silent, impartial killer, striking soldiers in foxholes and trenches across continents. Hypothermia and frostbite claimed lives as surely as bullets, especially when exhaustion and wet clothing set in. On the Russian steppes and in the Ardennes forests, a single night unprepared could be fatal. The winter landscape became a battlefield, fought with wool, canvas, and knowledge instead of rifles. Survival demanded discipline and ingenuity. Knowing how to keep warm was as vital as knowing how to fight. The cold stalled armies, altered campaigns, and changed the course of the war. The German advance on Moscow in 1941 was halted as much by winter as by Soviet resistance. American Marines in Italy and the Aleutians faced similar icy threats. In the end, the struggle against the cold united soldiers everywhere, reminding us that survival is a universal human fight. Winter battlefields spanned the globe, each with unique dangers. On the Eastern Front, temperatures plunged to -40, freezing equipment and men alike. The Battle of the Bulge saw Americans caught off guard, fighting in deep snow with inadequate gear. Trench foot and frostbite were constant threats, as wet, cold conditions made survival a daily battle. In the Italian Alps, altitude and avalanches added to the misery, demanding mountaineering skills as well as combat prowess. Even in the Pacific, the Aleutian Islands brought freezing rain and relentless winds, proving cold could strike anywhere. Nighttime chills on tropical islands caught soldiers unprepared, showing that winter's reach was global. The lesson cold was a universal enemy, not just a feature of snowy landscapes. When issued gear failed, soldiers improvised. Enter the shelter tube. Made from ponchos, canvas, or salvaged material, it was a snug tube just big enough for one or two. The goal: trap body heat, block wind, and create a life-saving microclimate. Soldiers dug shallow trenches, placed the tube inside, and piled snow or earth on top for insulation. Sharing a tube doubled the warmth and boosted morale. Gear became part of the system. Packs blocked openings. Boots were kept inside to prevent freezing. The shelter tube was a universal concept, adapted by all armies using whatever was at hand. It was a testament to battlefield creativity and the will to survive. Simple, effective, and born of necessity, it saved countless lives. In the cold, ingenuity was as important as any weapon. Surviving the cold was a science. Soldiers learned fast. Insulation from the ground was Rule 1. Pine boughs, straw, or spare clothes created a vital barrier. Layering clothing trapped air, keeping warmth in and allowing for temperature control. Wet clothes were deadly. Soldiers dried socks against their skin and brushed off snow before entering shelter. Wind chill was a constant threat, so foxholes and snow walls were built to block the breeze. Every effort aimed to create a pocket of still air, the best defense against freezing. Staying dry was a full-time job. Water sapped heat 25 times faster than air. Discipline meant checking for frostbite, drying gear, and never letting sweat soak through. These habits became second nature, essential for survival. The smallest details, how you dressed, where you slept, could mean life or death. On the frozen front, knowledge and vigilance were a soldier's best protection. The real battle was often mental. Cold could break spirits, making discipline and routine essential for survival. Preparing shelter, checking feet, and eating rations became rituals that kept despair at bay. Camaraderie was a lifeline. Soldiers watched for signs of hypothermia, shared warmth, and encouraged each other. Dark humor helped too, offering relief from relentless misery. Mental resilience, built on discipline and teamwork, was the ultimate weapon. The fortress of the mind allowed soldiers to endure the unendurable. Each army brought unique survival skills to winter warfare. Soviets relied on generations of experience, padded jackets, felt boots, and snow shelters. Germans learned hard lessons, adapting with better uniforms and efficient dugouts after early disasters. British and Commonwealth troops drew on mountaineering traditions, excelling in fieldcraft and mobility. Americans, initially under-equipped, quickly improvised, scrounging gear, sharing warmth, and learning from allies and enemies alike. The shelter half poncho became their version of the shelter tube. Across all armies, adaptability and problem-solving were key. Winter survival wasn't about nationality. It was about learning, adapting, and enduring. The cold taught everyone, and only the adaptable survived. The frozen front lines of WW2 offer timeless lessons in resilience and ingenuity. Insulating from the ground, layering, staying dry, and blocking wind remain survival basics today. The shelter tube's legacy is resourcefulness, turning simple materials into life-saving tools. The most important survival gear is knowledge and adaptability. Psychological strength and camaraderie were as vital as any equipment. Soldiers' stories remind us we're stronger together, and routine, discipline, and humor help us endure. Their quiet war against the cold is a testament to the human spirit's endurance. Even in the harshest conditions, ingenuity and willpower can triumph.